Hey, it's Adam, Avalon Auto, Alpharetta, Georgia. Avalon Auto Group on YouTube, Avalon Auto ATL on Instagram. Next up, this is one that I maybe shouldn't have bought, but it sure did make me smile, and I've always wanted one. This is a 2005 Jeep Wrangler TJ Unlimited, aka the LJ. The long bed, 6-speed manual. They only made these LJs in 0506. They're pretty rare, pretty sought after. It's only got 119,000 miles. It's only a 2-owner, spent its life in Florida and Georgia. And I mean, I like it. But the whole thing's been Rhino lined. Actually, very well. It does have some great parts on it. So these look like a Smittybilt XRC or something. There's no tags on it, so I'm just guessing, but full armor, let me back this up, but full armor that has also been Rhino lined all the way around. And then same with the side steps or the sliders have not been Rhino lined. The front fenders are the same style, like a Smittybilt XRC or something. There's a couple different vendors that make these. Smittybilt's probably the most name recognition. But you know, 4.0 inline 6 thing is bulletproof. I've had a lot of TJs in my life. I like them a lot. I've always wanted an LJ. We started off basically with a mechanical inspection, so it did have coolant leak. It did have oil leak. Coolant leak was the water pump. It wasn't a bad leak, but it was leaking. It was a bit low on coolant when I got it, so that's what we looked for. But ended up doing the water pump and the valve cover gasket. It had a good amount coming back on the back side of the engine, which these 4.0s are known for. I thought it was the rear main seal, sent it to the shop for that. It wasn't. It was just the valve cover was puking out of the back. So full valve cover, water pump, oil change, everything else checked out mechanically. This does appear to have ARB front and rear lockers installed, electronic lockers. So you see you've got the wires, connections coming out. When the transporter brought it back from the auction, old redneck dude said, "Oh man, I think this thing's got welded diffs." I was like, "I don't think so, man." But they're not your typical locker switches, but those are front and rear lockers to the best of my knowledge. This also drives like it may be geared without popping up off the covers. I don't really know. I'm just taking guesses, educated guesses. It does have these Best Top soft doors, which shout out to Best Top. They didn't come with keys. I called them with the door code. They mailed me keys free of charge, which was nice. Really appreciate that, Best Top. Great customer service. Does have nice LED tail lights. You know, I mean, parts wise, I like the rear swing out. I like the full size carrier with the cage on the back. Undercarriage, again, Florida and Georgia. The rear axle's got some surface crap on it. But I mean, it's definitely been wheeled. It's got more red clay staining than anything. It's got the frameless soft top, which, you know, I started looking if, okay, let me get some carpet for this thing. Let me get a regular top so you can throw it back a little easier. Tires, all that. I'd rather just try to sell it as an inexpensive LJ to somebody that wants a weekend toy to go play at Iron Mountain, at, you know, Beasley Knob, Windrock, whatever. This thing is perfect because you can drive this right into the woods, right between all the bushes and trees, and not worry one bit about scratching your paint, which is what makes me smile about it. You know, but these tires, they're 295 7017s, and they're only 4 years old. They've got a 2020 date stamp on them, but they're pretty worn, and they're starting to show their dry rot. I thought about just buying 4 of these, but even the spare, which is brand new, is also starting to show its dry rot, which sucks. But, you know, it's either, I would probably put a bit cheaper tire on it. One that I like is the Maxxis Razor, maybe even a step down just to a normal 33. But I feel like whoever buys this is probably going to want 35s, maybe even 37s. So I'd rather just negotiate that and we can get it done before you buy it. But that's where it's at. This also did not have mirrors on it when I bought it. It had the little brackets, but not the mirrors. I just got some Amazon ones, kind of do the job for now. They're not great. They only tighten so much, and once you get to go about 60, 70 miles an hour, the wind does push them in. because this thing's been Rhino lined, I ain't going after that. That's a rabbit hole right there that I'm not gonna dig. But you could get some different style ones on here, or if you got some regular doors that have mirrors on them, you'd be fine on that route as well. But again, this is a toy Jeep. I wouldn't say this is a perfect daily driver, but if you spend $1,000 on tires and $500 on carpet and whatever, it could be a cool daily driver. It actually does drive pretty well for a TJ LJ. It does have a best top rear seat. My detailer called me, he's like, you want me to take off the cover? I'm like, it's not a cover, that's just an aftermarket rear seat, which it works. Again, the original factory paint, which there ain't no going back to, is I forget what the color is, but it looks similar to like the nautical blues on Toyotas. This does have, let me swing this hard. This does have a CB. Could use some extra grab handles. CB's kind of loosely wired under here, but everything does work. It's actually a nice CB setup on here. 6-speed manual, clutch feels good. Again, engine, transmission, everything feel great. Cosmetically, this is a toy Jeep. It is not a show Jeep. I've got a guy in Roswell that's got an orange one of these that is immaculate. It's just perfect. You would never want to wheel it type thing. This ain't that. This is one that you're 100% comfortable driving right into a tree or in between the trees and not worry too much about, scratching anything. It's starting to rain, so I'm gonna make this one quick. Sorry it's going long. One-handed, can't do everything, but again, engine 4.0, everything looks good. Does have some overspray from whenever they Rhino lined on the jugs. Go back in there and put that thing back in its clip. But I mean, it's a cool Jeep. If this thing was clean, pristine, with the mileage, the history, the service records, everything checks out except it's Rhino lined. Doesn't have the hard doors or even a true half door, just these soft doors, which are not my favorite by any means, but they do provide a door. This would be a $15,000, $16,000, $17,000 Jeep all day long. In my mind, I've got a beautiful, damn near mint condition Rubicon over there next to the Hemi JK. That if you want a perfect Jeep, that Rubicon is it. This is not, but it'll be probably $5,000 less than the Rubicon. And it is also locked front and rear, from what I can tell. We have played around with it up in our gravel lot. But again, 05 LJ trail rig, super fun. Get it out, have fun. Give us a call if you have any questions. Adam with Avalon Auto.